Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I thought we'd do another episode of milling for beginners. Let's get into that. That's right, we're going to do another milling for beginners. This is number 3. And what I thought we'd do today is pick up the edge of this part that we've been working on. But we're going to be a little different than most people. We're going to use this. It's like, what the heck is that? It's I don't know. I think it's from a file cabinet. But I'm going to show you how to use part of this to pick up an edge. Let's do that. All right, we're over at the mill. And you're probably asking, how in the hell are you going to use this as a edge finder? This is an edge finder. This is a 3/8 diameter shank, and it has the 200 thousandths diameter that you usually touch off with. Let me show you a close-up of this. We have the 200 thousandths diameter tip, and this is a 3/8 inch body. People just starting out don't usually have stuff like this. What I'm going to do is show you how to make something like this real quick and cheap out of this. Let's do that. This is steel. It's a 1/4 inch. I measured it with my calipers, and it measures 250 thousandths. Give or take a thousandths. Let me go cut off a section of this, and I'll show you how we're going to use it. We're going to mark about 2 inches, 2 1/8, 2 3/16, somewhere around there. And I'm going to go saw this off. All right, I cut a piece of this here. One thing you do need to do is make sure that this is flat. I just used my scale and laid it on there and went around to make sure it was a nice straight piece of that. Now, I need to measure the diameter. 250 thousandths. Let me give you a close-up of that. Okay, and what we're going to do is put it in the drill chuck. Tighten it up. Okay, let's set a stop and put our part in the vise. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to put a stop in there. Now, generally, this is about where I want it generally, right in the middle. I'm going to lock it in there, and I'm going to put my stop on this side. Now, loosen it up. All right, first things first. Vise is clean, stop is cleaned, parallels have been stoned and are clean. Place them in there. Make sure they're seated. Clean the part. Put it up against the stop and lock her in. Now, what we want to do is move this pin down next to the part here. I'm going to show you how to use this piece of cardboard and this pin that we've just made to touch off. Let's do that. My piece of cardboard, which is 26 thousandths thick, I'm going to place that between my part and my pin and slowly bring it up and move it up and back as I'm doing it. All right, I felt it snag there, but it still moves a little bit. But you don't want to squeeze it. You want to just trap it in there. What we're going to do next is set a 0 here. Let's do that. 0 set. Let's move this up and move the table, the thickness of your cardboard. 10, 26. Reset your 0. Now what you want to do is move it half of the diameter of the pin. This has 100 thousandths movement per revolution. So we just make it 1 revolution plus 25. Reset your 0. Now, if you're one of those rich guys and has a DRO, you hit the button each time, which resets your 0. Okay, that middle of the spindle is right on the edge of the part. We should do the same thing to the back. Let's do that. Okay, that was my X axis. Now I want to do the back of the Y axis on the back of the part. I was always taught you want to keep the backlash on both axes the same. Of course, on this part, it's not sticking up above the jaw. So what I'm going to do is tilt it and bring that pin up against it, doing the same thing. All right, I feel that is right there. 0 set, and move that 26 thousandths. Now I'm going to re-0, and I'm going to move half the pin. And of course, re-0. Now we can put our part back down, up against the stop. Move this back to 0. Thinking about the backlash, we have to come back clockwise. And that part is exactly in the corner of my part. So I'm going to move off 1 inch and 1 inch, put a 1/4 inch drill in there and drill through. Then we'll go to the surface plate and see how accurate this method is. Let's do that. Okay, I put my 1/4 inch stubby length drill in here, drill bit, and I'm going to move off 1 inch in my X and 1 inch in my Y axis. I think I am right in the middle of that part. Let's drill a hole. All right. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to go over to the surface plate with a surface gauge and check to see if this thing is actually in the middle. Let's do that. Okay, I'm setting this for 0. Okay, that's 0. I'm going to turn it completely 180 degrees. That's +2. Okay, turn it 90. That's minus about 3. Turn it 180 degrees. And that's plus about 3. Okay, so I'm about 1,000th off one way from center, and I'm off 3,000ths from center the other way. So it does work. You know, even though something like this works, you could probably afford an edge finder. I think the littlemachineshop.com has them. They're pretty cheap. I can't exactly remember how much they were. But if you don't have one yet, that's another way you can do it. So, this video, I think, is coming to an end. So I'm going to have to say, until next time, enjoy.